Hello, welcome back. This is the classification of living organisms: plants, animals, bacteria, fungi, and more. Okay, how many living things are there in this world? There are so many for humankind to know, because more and more are being discovered at each different times as we go by in life. Okay, then how do you group living things together? How will you know that this living organism can breed and produce a live offspring with this other living organism? Okay, one way that is viable, which scientists believe to be true until today, is if you have classified the living organisms well, and you know that this particular kind of a living organism is in the same species with this particular kind of a living organism, then these two organisms are most likely to produce a live young one that can also breed with another to produce an offspring. Okay, then the way the living organisms are classified, I like a mnemonic that was used by a teacher that I got from one of the medias. He used this mnemonic and I loved it. And this is what made me to pass my high school. And I want to repeat what made me to perform well. Okay, then he used this something that looks like a mnemonic. He said, "Kings play chess on fairly green pastures." Then after that, he underlined these letters. On the kings, he underlined K. On the P, on the play, he underlined P. Here, C, O, F, G. And here, he did not underline the P, but he underlined the S. Okay, then after that, I designed this myself and removed or picked what she considered is very essential in each one. Okay, then here the K represents kingdom, the P represents phylum, the C class, order, family, genus, and species. Okay, then what is this? This is a way of classifying living organisms from the wider perspective into a narrower perspective. Meaning, as you are going down the classification, the more you become very specific. Okay, then the upper you go, that is when you get a bit wider. Alright, then why classify this? The species, once you reach the level species, that is the part where those organisms can breed with one another to produce an offspring that is also going to be productive. Yes, there are some ways that have been designed by different scientists nowadays, whereby living organisms can reproduce in the laboratory, making them in the laboratory, like you bring together different gametes in the laboratory, you play around with their genes, you try to play around with their chromosomes, you play around with their DNA, and they produce another organism which is, they say, a bit more advantageous than the other. Taking for an instance, you want to plant a maize in the desert or in a very hot condition, and there are some seeds. Okay, this seed, it is almost, it goes until this height. This seed, it can produce a very strong one. Then they take the taller one, they combine it with the chromosomes of the stronger one that can withstand the heat. Then they somehow combine the DNA to reproduce a kind or a species. They refer to it as a variety of a type of a maize plant that can go until this height and also resist heat. Okay, then that is a special case that is man-made. Okay, with respect to this one, the reproduction is based on natural causes, because biology is all about studying the living things around us. Okay, then after you have classified them like this, then you have to call them with some names. There are many names that are there in the whole world. Which language are we going to use when naming a particular organism? You might find that we have got a scientist in England, and we have got a scientist in Africa, and a scientist in Asia, and they are bringing the same organism. Let us say it is a bird. Okay, then one scientist in England will say, this name is called this. And the other scientist from Asia said, no, the name of this bird is this. And another one scientist in Africa will say, no, the name of this bird is this. Then which name is the one to be used? And why? You see that? Then that will form a confusion before they start discussing the bird itself. Then the best way that is discovered by scientists is to create a way of naming all living organisms that is going to be used across the whole world, the scientific names. Okay, then that is the standard name at which if you meet another scientist, no matter where you are in the world, that name is going to be known by both. And we call that the binomial system of naming organisms. The binomial system of naming living organisms. The word bi, I'm concerned with it means two. It means that you use two words to name each species of a living organism. Okay, like when you are naming it, you use the first word or the first name is the genus, then the second name is the species. Right. Then if you are writing it down, the genus name begins with a capital letter and the species name begins with a small letter. If you are writing them down with your hand, you just capitalize the first one, then the rest continues. But if you are typing it using a computer, you make sure that these are in italics. Okay, let us say you want to name maize. Okay, corn. Right? Maize is actually zia. You notice that the first letter is capital, okay? Then the others are all in small letter. Then this is the genus name or the genera. Then maize. Okay? This one is now a small letter, not capital. But if you are writing using your handwriting, you are just going to underline this and you are going to underline that. Okay, then that is now the name that is going to be used to name maize, zea maize. Okay, this name represents, this is the genus name, and this one is the species name. Okay, let us say you are naming a human. A human, it is a Homo sapien. I think my spelling is correct. Homo sapien, this one, let me make it small because it is a, yes, it is a Homo sapien. Okay, the word Homo, it has got a capital letter, then this one must be given a small letter. But because I am not able to write in italics, then I am going to underline. Then this represents the genus name, and this one represents the species name. Okay, this is what is called the classification of living organisms. It is always